أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وإيمانا وفقها في الدين. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وتجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا رب العالمين. So today we are going to continue from Babu Shuruti Salat. Babu Shuruti Salat. So قال المؤلف رحمه الله باب شروط الصلاة. وللصلاة شروط وجوب وشروط صحة، فأما شروط وجوبها فخمسة: الإسلام والبلوغ والعقل ودخول الوقت وبلوغ دعوة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. So Mu'allif rahimahullah said, Babu Shuruti as-Salat. This chapter discusses the conditions of Salah. Babu Shuruti as-Salat. The conditions or preconditions of Salah. So he said, وَلِلصَّلَاةِ شُرُوطُ وُجُوبٍ وَشُرُوطُ صِحَّةٍ. Salah has what? Two conditions. Two types of conditions. Two types of conditions. We have shurutu wujubin wa shurutu sihha. So shurutu wujub are what? Conditions of compulsory or conditions of obligation. Right? Conditions of compulsory, conditions of obligation. Meaning, when these conditions are fulfilled or met, when a person fulfill or meet these conditions, then Salah becomes compulsory upon the person. That's what shurutu wujub, right? And then shurutu sihha, these also conditions of what? Validity. Shurutu sihha, that's condition of validity. Conditions of validity. So it means that any person praying, any prayer that these five conditions are met or fulfilled, then it's considered what? A valid prayer. But if one of these conditions is missing, if one of these conditions is missing, what happens? It will consider what? Invalid. So we have shurutu wujubin wa shurutu sihha. So he said, فأما شروط وجوبها فخمسة. Conditions of compulsory or obligation are five. فأما شروط وجوبها فخمسة. Right? So the conditions that when is found or met, then Salah, these 5 daily prayer, become what? Obligatory upon that person. So he said, Al-Islam. This is the first one. Al-Islam. So meaning the person should be a Muslim. Al-Islam, the person should be a Muslim. So it means that this obligation of Salah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not legislate or did not command the non-Muslims, the Christians or the Jews. No. I mean, we are talking about the Ummah, this commandment, right? The Ummah of what? Islam. The Ummah of what? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, a person who is not a Muslim is not what? Salah is not what? Obligatory upon the person, right? So the first condition is what? Al-Islam. The person should be a Muslim, right? Wal bulugh. Bulugh is also what? Puberty. Right? A person should be what? Legally responsible. So when a person reach the age of puberty, the person is considered mukallaf, meaning legally responsible. So what does it mean to say that the person is legally responsible? What does it mean?
Which means it's legally authorized to pay.
No.
It's a balik.
Yeah, it's a balik. This the Arabic usage of it. That's balik. Yeah.
It means now he has become a man. His needs are being recorded.
Yes, this is what I want. What do you want to say?
If the person starts to see wet dreams.
No, you are mentioning the signs of what? Puberty. I'm asking that what does it mean for a person to be pubescent or the person to, let's say, be legally responsible? If we say a person is legally responsible, what does it mean?
It could mean the person is matured.
Okay, this is one of it. But we want something related to what? Something related to legal, something legal.
Okay, he could be held accountable for.
Yes, so that's it. That's what we want. That's what concerns us actually. Right? Whether it's mature and then not mature, that's not our business. What we want here is that if we say a person is balik, then it becomes what? It means he is what? Legally responsible. So here it means that whatever the person does, the person will be held what? Accountable. Whatever he say or do, his actions and utterances will what? Will be considered, will be taken into account. Right? The Prophet ﷺ said, رُفِعَ الْقَلَمُ عَنْ ثَلَاثَةٍ الصبي حتى يحتلم وعن نائم حتى يستيقظ وعن مجنون حتى يعقل أو حتى يفيق. Now حتى يعقل. رواه مسلم. So this hadith, the Prophet said, the pen has been lifted from 3 groups of people. الصبي حتى يحتلم. A boy or a child until he what? He become what? He become mature, meaning hatta yahtalim, until he sees what? The word dream. So this is a sign of what? Pubescent, or to reach the age of what? Puberty, right? So that's it. Hatta yahtalim. And then also wa an-na'im hatta yastayqir, and the person who is sleeping until he what? He wakes. Right? And then also majnoon hatta yaqil, and also the pen has been what? Lifted from what? From a person who is what? Who is insane. Yeah, a mad person. Yeah. Right? So meaning these group of people, whatever they will do or say will not what? Will not be considered valid, or it will not be what? Taken into account, or they will not be what? Responsible for the things they do or see. Why? Because of what? Because of that boy, a boy is not yet what? Legally responsible. And then the person sleeping also is what? Is unconscious. So whatever he say or do will not be also considered, will not be also taken, will not be taken into what? Into account. And also a person who is insane, who is mad, also know what? Whatever his actions and utterances will also not be what? Will not be recorded. Okay? So one bulu. So now what are the signs of what? The signs of puberty? How do we know that someone has reached the age of puberty?
One is wet dreams.
Yeah, a wet dream is one of it. A wet dream for a girl or a boy?
A boy.
A boy.
Okay.
So
girls to menstruation.
yes, yeah. And then there's another sign for boys and also girls. Now you mentioned, so let's start with the boys. So you mentioned wet dream, right? This one, and then The second sign?
Broad voice.
No, that's the second one is what? When the person starts to grow hair, what's
Pubic.
in the pubic area or region, right? And also, so that's the two signs. And then for the girls too, you mentioned one, menstruation, and then what? No, pregnancy, right? Pregnant. So if you see a young girl, small girl, very young girl, who you think has not reached the age of puberty, and she's pregnant, this means she's what? Legally responsible, right? Yes, yes. Unless if she's Mariam and then there is no Mariam. Yeah, so.
But you can have, or it happens, you can have, it doesn't happen that you miss your menses and like your first, you know, it's not all you're pregnant.
It doesn't matter. So let's, it could be that the menstruation has delayed, but the fact that she's pregnant means she's now legally responsible. You get it? So these are the two signs. So here, when a boy or girl has not seen these signs, right, and reach the age of 15, they are automatically legally responsible. They are automatically considered legally responsible. Okay? Alright, so wal bulug. And then the third one, wal aql, sanity. The person should not be what? Should not be insane, should not be mad. The person should what? Should be the sanity should be what? Intact. Right? And then say wadukhulu al-waqti. Wadukhulu al-waqti. And then when the time of a prayer is what? Is due. Right? Wadukhulu al-waqti. So it means that, so if I ask you what is the ruling of the khamsu salawat, the 5 daily prayer, what's the ruling? What is the hukum?
You should be a Muslim.
No. This you are mentioning the conditions, shurut wujub. I'm saying what is the hukum? What is the ruling of what? Praying the 5 daily prayer.
It's wajib.
It's wajib, right? So is it time for zuhur yet?
No.
So is it wajib on us to pray?
Right now.
Yeah, to pray zuhur. Why?
Because it's not your time.
Because it's not your time. So it is wajib, the hukum, the general hukum, but it is not wajib on us now to pray. It becomes wajib when it is time for prayer. You get it? So, and then the fifth one, وَبُلُوغُ دَعْوَةِ النَّبِيِّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. That a person, the message of the Prophet should reach the person. What does it mean? Meaning, if a person embraces Islam, has reached the age of puberty, his sanity is intact, but does not know don't know anything about Islam, okay, and also don't know that Allah has obligated Muslims to pray 5 times in a day. So with such person, that khams salawat is not wajib on the person. You get it?
Sheikh, please. That part again.
So he said, وَبُلُوغُ دَعْوَةِ النَّبِيِّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. So it means that the message of the Prophet, the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam should reach what? This person. Right? It means that when a person embraces Islam and don't know any teachings about Islam, the salah, the siyam is not what? It's not wajib on the person. You get it? That's why the Prophet ﷺ, whenever he sends a teacher to a city, he will tell the person, when you go, teach them that there's none worthy of worship except Allah, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger and prophet. And teach them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed 5 daily prayer and then also fasting in the month of Ramadan. As he advised Mu'adh bin Jabal. So he sent Mu'adh bin Jabal to Yemen as a teacher, as a judge and as a teacher. And he said to him, إنك تأتي قوم أهل كتاب فأول ما تدعوهم إليه شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله فإن أطاعوك بذلك فأخبرهم أن الله قد افترض عليهم 5 صلوات في يومهم وليلتهم. So he said to him, you are going to what? To the people of the book, to the Christians and the Jews. So when you go there, the first thing you should call them to is Shahadat Allah. Talk to them, call them towards what? Shahada. Convince them that there's none worthy of worship but Allah. When they accept that, then you teach them that Allah has what? Allah has obligated 5 daily prayer on them. Right? So here, after they've embraced Islam, then you what? You teach them. So here, they know that yes, after they have become Muslims, they know that also Allah has what? Legislated or obligated 5 daily prayer on them. Okay? So if the person don't know, then Salah does not what? Does not become wajib on the person. You get it? Okay. So these are what? These are shurut wujubiha. When these conditions are met, are fulfilled, then it becomes what? It becomes wajib. Salah, the 5 salawat becomes wajib. Is it clear?
Yeah, okay. The number 4 is it praying on the established time?
No, it didn't say pray on the established time. It said dukhul al-waqt, when the time of prayer is due. Now we are all Muslims, right? Are we all legally responsible? Are we all legally responsible? Or we have minor among us? No minor, right? Okay. Are we all, do we have all our sanity intact? Yes. Okay. Now, these are some of the conditions, and then the message of the Prophet has also reached us. So, does that make Zuhur wajib on us now? No. Does not become wajib until it is time for Zuhur.
No.
You get it? Okay. Right? Yeah. So that's why when we get up to pray now, and we pray Zuhur is what? 4 rakats, right? If you pray Zuhur with the intention of Zuhur, this is what? This will be considered a valid prayer, but voluntary prayer. It will not be considered as what? Zuhur. Why? Because it's not time for Zuhur. Right? It's not time for Zuhur. A prayer or an act of worship will not be accepted until it is performed in its fixed time. You get it? So now, how many days do we fast in Ramadan?
Okay.
30, 29.
29, 30. Right, okay. Now, let's say that we are in a month of, let's say, Rabiul Thani, right? Or Rabiul Awal, let's say Rabiul Thani. So this Rabiul Thani, then we started fasting from the first month of Rabiul Thani. So what, to the 29th day or the 30th day, right? And then we say, okay, when it's month of Ramadan, we don't have to fast again. Since we've already we fasted 30 days in Rabiul Thani. Would that be valid? Why? It's not Ramadan. Yes, you fasted 30 days, 29 days. That's good, may Allah accept it. But this, but it will not it will not be considered what? We can't replace it with the month of what? The fasting of Ramadan. You are not asked to fast in the month of Rabiul Thani. You are commanded to fast in the month of Ramadan. So you have to what? You have to perform what? The act of worship in what? In its fixed. Okay. So he said, وَأَمَّا شُرُوطُ صِحَّتِهَا. And then now the conditions of what? Of validity. Right? Before a salah will be considered valid, it has to meet these conditions. Is it clear? He said, فَسِتَّةٌ. There are 6. طهارة الحدث وطهارة الخبث واستقبال القبلة وستر العورة وترك الكلام وترك الأفعال الكثيرة والله أعلم. So شروط صحتها, that's conditions of validity. They said ستة, there are 6. طهارة الحدث, one should what? One should be pure from all kind of what? Impurity. Hadath. Right? So what did we say hadath is? Are you sure? So hadath is what? Non-physical impurities, right? Or things that leads to what? To impurities. Like what? Like sleeping. Yes, sleeping. So we said sleep itself is not what? It's not something bad, and it's also what? It's not something impure, but it could lead to what? Impurity. Right? Like the naumun tawilun thaqil yakutulu. Right? Right? So that's it. So but here it means that only now, and then also to be what? Unconscious. To be in the state of what? Unconsciousness. Right? So like to faint. When a person faints, is what? In a state of what? Unconsciousness. So this invalidates the ablution automatically, because whatever the person do, he will know what? He will not be able to figure out whether he has his ablution intact or not. Right? And then doubt is also what? Part of it. Do you remember we said doubt itself does not, but you know? So in our madhab, doubt is what? Doubt is one of what? The nullifiers of ablution. Is that clear? Okay, so now tahara, but here he said taharatul hadathi wa taharatul khabath. It means that one should be what? One should be physically clean. Your dress should be clean. The place of worship should be clean. And you yourself, you should be clean. Right? All these places should be clean. That's what it means. Right? So when you are clean, and then the place is not clean, your prayer will not be what? Will not be valid. And then let's say you are clean, your dress is clean, but the mat that you are praying on is what? Is impure. The prayer is also not you've still not met the condition. Right? So you have to be clean, and then your dress, your place, everything should be clean. Is that clear? Alright. And then of course if you say you should be clean, you should be free from what? Major and then minor impurities, right? So a person with a lady seeing a menstrual blood or menstruating, can she pray? No, why? Because she's what? She's spiritually impure, right? She can't pray. So a person who, a Muslim man in the state of janaba, can he pray? No, he can't pray. Why? Because he's what? Spiritually impure.
What if he prays?
Of course, that would be an exercise.
But it's not simple.
If you know that he has janaba, he can perform ghusl or tayammum, and then he decides not to perform it. And why would you do this? Right? So it's not good. It's part of making fun of the religion. And this could lead to kufr. Now, you know that you have janaba, right? You have to pray. You have to take ghusl before you can pray. And you did not do all that. You have water at your disposal, but you decide not to what? You decide not to perform ghusl, and you went and prayed. Right? this is making fun of the religion and it's not good. Okay? So, واستقبال القبلة, right? And then facing the Qibla, the direction of what? The Qibla. Facing the direction of Qibla. It means that when a person comes to pray, he knows the Qibla, he knows where the Qibla is, right? But did not face the Qibla. Even if the person is pure, and then has also met the rest of the condition, but did not face the Qibla, the Salah is what? It's not valid. Alright? The Salah is not, it's not valid. So now, let's look at this issue of Qibla. Qibla, what does it mean to face the Qibla? Does it mean to find where the Kaaba is and then face it, or it will suffice to face where the sacred mosque is?
Which opinion? Masjid Al-Aqsa. Okay.
No, Masjid al-Haram. Mecca. Haram al-Mecca.
Haram.
You didn't hear why I thought you said secret.
No, secret.
Sacred.
Secret mosque. Alright, so where do you face? Do you search for the Kaaba, where the Kaaba is to face, or you face the masjid, the direction of the masjid?
No, you face the cow.
I feel that I mean, find the direction by Kaaba and you face.
You face it.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you can. Since it's just in the
In the middle,
of the
yeah.
masjid, so you can just face.
Okay. So I mean now, with the Qibla, when you are within the Haram, you have to face the what? The Kaaba. But when you are outside Haram or far away from what? From Mecca, it will suffice to what? To face the masjid. You get it? Because it will be very difficult to be somewhere like where we are now in Ghana and say that you want to face the Kaaba. How would you do that? It's very difficult, right? So in our madhab, it suffices you what? You face what? The masjid, not the Kaaba itself. You get it? Yeah. So and then this is also an issue, especially in our communities. You find the imam sometimes will be facing somewhere, and then those behind him will be facing somewhere.
But I think you even have apps that can push for that.
Yeah.
But
So,
I have no questions on the cave. Because maybe you can go to some masjid. Maybe some cave, some to
yeah, some they don't. So it's a whole lot of issues, With the Qibla, sometimes you go and tell them, no, this is the way the Qibla is, you have to.
Do as you say.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that and the caves like is becoming fun because some will say that now even if they get to somewhere even they don't care. Because I once saw someone pray. The man was not cave, but he was
Just
Even here, I see someone like he was walking to the masjid and then he faced the other side. See that, like opposite. Like his face the other side. He was facing back, like opposite, direct opposite.
Yeah, so that's it, there's a whole lot of issues on this. But in our madhab, it will suffice you what? You face the direction of the mosque, right? Masjid al-Haram. So when you go somewhere, you don't know the Qibla, what do?
You intend.
Huh?
You intend. You ask.
Yeah. When you go somewhere, you don't know the Qibla and there are people there, they are not knowing anything, you ask. Right? You ask. Okay. So when you go somewhere, you don't know the Qibla and there's no one to ask.
You face everywhere.
Yeah, you what? You do your ijtihad and then and then pray. So let's say that you went somewhere, you don't know the Qibla. No one is there to ask, for you to ask the person. So, and then you finish praying, and then someone saw you and say, no, brother, this is not the Qibla is here. What do you do?
You know, Mazhab, you pray again.
Really?
Yes.
Shahabiya.
I mean, if the time is still, if it is still within the prayer time, you can pray again.
Yeah, so the prayer is not compulsory to pray again, to repeat, right? So when you get somewhere and then you don't know the Qibla and then no one is there to ask, what do? You do your ijtihad, you just look around, read and say, oh, I'm coming from this direction, this is our Qibla. So most probably the Qibla will go this direction or this direction. You face them and pray, right? So when you pray, after you finish praying, and then someone who knows the Qibla come and tell you that no, this is not the Qibla, you don't have to repeat the prayer. If you want, you can what? You can repeat it, but it's not what? It's not obligatory to repeat it. Whether you finish the prayer within the time of prayer or after the time of prayer, you still don't want. But you do that when you want. It's what it's recommended. It's mustahab to do that. Is that clear?
Yeah. Okay. So isn't there a way you can use the sun to know where the Qibla is?
Well, some are good at that. Yeah, some are good at that. And then you have the gadgets today. You have your phones, your compass. It can easily direct you, right? Okay. This compass, huh? Alright, and then wasatul al-awrah, right? Covering of the nakedness. It's also what? Part of the condition of validity. Part of the condition of what? Validity. So, what does it mean to cover the nakedness, the awrah?
From the navel to the...
Yeah, so that's it. We have different, awrah for the male and then also the female. So, for men, it's what? From what? From the navel to what? Including the knees, right? So that's the awrah for men. Okay? All that place is not awrah. So they can expose that and then still pray and then be considered bad. Right?
But still, because I had some issue on that, but somewhere like, if you are going out with this, how will you, but is the prayer still valid?
Yeah, it's valid. So the shoulder, the chest, it's not aura. It's not aura. Right? So the aura is where? From the navel to including the knee. Okay, so the knees are part of the aura. So the shoulder, the chest, it's not part of the aura. But that doesn't mean the person should.
But ethically, can a person pray with singlet?
Yeah, you can. But rather you are standing before Allah.
Yeah.
So maybe.
So yes, brother, see, now scholars are mentioning all this. They are defining what an aura, the aura of a man, the aura of a woman. Not to just allow you to say, okay, I can pray with singlet. At that time, there are people who don't have anything except what the upper garment or the lower garment. So at that time, the time of the Prophet, they have rida, that's the upper garment, and then izar, that's the lower garment. Some, that's the only thing they possess, the only thing they have, the only dress they have, the lower garment. Some the upper garment, right? So when it's time for prayer, they what? They just cover the aura and then pray, right? But you have, everything. You have everything to do. Why will you do that? You get it?
So again, and on the female, where you?
Okay, so with the female, with women, the aura, their bodies, the complete body is aura, except the face and then the hands, right? This one. The rest of the body is what? Is aura. So a woman cannot what? The feet.
The foot.
It's also our. So she has to cover.
Sure, because I know for the male, if your aura shows that your prayer is not valid.
Yeah.
But sometimes they seem to as a female too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can see someone wearing dress, it's like this. And sometimes they wear hijab. It only covers only the hair and back. You can see all the chest and the
neck and
the.
No, that's she's not covered. She's not fully covered. So the prayer is not valid. Yeah. So she has to cover all this everywhere, except the face and then the hands. Everywhere.
Okay.
Aside that, everywhere she should be covered. So, and the process during prayer, if any part of the body exposes, then the prayer becomes what now? Right? Same apply to what? To men too, right? So now, let's say that a young guy is praying and then with this autofista, and then the boxes is showing. Is the prayer valid or invalid?
So it's valid.
It's valid. Why?
Because it's only the boxes that
it's the boxes that are showing, right? So it's valid. The prayer is valid. But you are praying there before Allah and the boxes. You get it? So the prayer is valid. Why? Because the boxer, it covers what? It covers the aura, right? So exposing the boxes does not what invalidate, but it's lack of manners, right? It's lack of manners in the sight of Allah. Yeah, before Allah and then exposing
So, does that mean it's obligatory on the female to use maybe socks or something, no matter what they have to do to cover their legs or something?
Yeah, so with that, not necessarily socks. They can wear long dress to cover.
You see, these days we have lawyers and dog officers, ladies, and all they have to do is to cover some part of the body, like uniform. So the leg, you see that they don't, and the neck side as well.
No, see, we're not saying you should not wear your uniform. You can wear your uniform, right? Since it's what you do, right? But would that prevent you from keeping a abaya in your bag? I mean, you can keep find anything that will cover your body, your entire body, then use it to pray, right? You can't, if you can't be wearing abaya everywhere, right? Or maybe long dress everywhere, then at least keep it in your bag. When it's time for prayer, you wear it and then pray, right? But to say that your work or whatever won't allow you, it's not a valid excuse. You have to prioritize the prayer over the work or whatever. You get it?
So, also on the issue of the veil, some only suffice with that small one, they're like here, and they ignore the main veil. If you ask, they say it covers the hair. So.
No, but the covering, so you are not asked to cover the hair. No, you're not asked to cover it. You are asked to cover your aura. The hair alone is not the aura, right? So now we have a misunderstanding of what, or there's a lot of misconception regarding what women dress or this tasatur. So they think that covering the hair suffices. So you see a Muslim lady, she's wearing tighty dress, but having this small thing covering her face and then her shoulder, thinking that she has covered herself. No. This American way of hijab. This hip-hop hijab. Right? This hip-hop hijab. No, you don't do that. You have to cover the entire body. So they think the hair alone or the ears or something is the aura. No, your entire body is aura. For women, the entire body is aura. So you have to cover the entire body. You don't have to wear tighty things or tighty dresses. I hope it's clear.
No.
So وستر العورة وترك الكلام, and also to stay away from what? From speech or any talks during prayer, right? There's a hadith of the Prophet that says, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Inna hadi, innama hiya salatun la yasluhu fiha shay'un min kalam nas. Innama hiya tasbihun wa takbirun wa qira'atul Quran. Right? He said this is why this is prayer. It's not befitting or it's not acceptable for a person to say anything that is not part of the prayer. So this prayer is what? It's only tasbih, takbir, and then the recitation of the Quran. Right? So when you are praying, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything that is not. It's not part of the salah. Right? But there are circumstances that you are allowed to say something to correct the prayer. Right? So for instance, you are ma'mun, you are behind an imam, and then in the last rakah, the imam performed the rakah except one sujood, and then he has started his tahiyyah, right? So this, you can you can say something to correct to remind him that he has left one sujood. To perform the sujood, then, because if you don't perform the sujood and then make salam, he has to wait. What does he have to do? He has to repeat that again. You get it? So in order to prevent that, you can say something to correct it, right? But something concise, precise, not to prolong. You have to
perform sujood.
On that, do sujood again, but unless
no. If he after salam, when he forget to make the last sujood, and then he makes salam, then he has to He has to repeat the last rakah because it is not complete, right? But if let's say someone behind him reminds him of that, and then he performed the sujood before the taslim, then he can now perform sujood salam.
So regarding the correction, someone behind us is Sauran Buddha or
I think most imams understand subhanallah.
There was something.
Yes, this subhanallah. Yeah, when you say it, what are you reminding him?
Yeah.
What subhanallah. Yeah, he will say, okay, maybe there's something wrong, but what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like if let's say you are in maybe let's say last rakah and then you are supposed to do salam, you are getting up and someone says subhanallah, that will tell you that you have to sit down. I mean, there's nothing,
but it's not specific.
What comes to your mind when you hear subhanallah? Let's say you are getting up and you hear subhanallah, what comes to your mind?
Yeah, traditionally, but it could be that something happened.
Yeah, maybe you forgot sujood or something.
And you are getting up.
Yeah.
But you will sit down, and by all means you sit down, right? So yeah, they are bringing you down prevent you from standing up again. So the subhanallah prevents the addition of another thing. Oh.
Yeah, okay.
But say, what's the right thing to do?
Yeah, so you can say something to correct, like sujood, right? Like sujood. If you say sujood,
it's specific.
yeah. So.
But like, what is it? Yes. So
because sometimes the imam will be like he's so sure that he has done, like in his mind he's content that okay, I've done it, but telling me to do
Yeah, so if he did not listen to you, then after salam you tell him that Imam, you forgot one sujood, so you have to make what? You have to make up one.
So in that case, you will stand up and complete that. Repeat.
Yeah, of course, you get up and then pray one rakah in addition, then sujood salam.
Pastor, what if maybe the imam is totally confused?
Mm-hmm.
He don't know what he says. One last one, but still is. What do you do now?
Then you leave him. You leave him off. Yes, then you're correct.
Because we had the same issue, but after the imam was done, even the mamu itself, even like some were like, oh, it's done. Some two were like, no, it's not done. So now the imam is confused, and now they are also confused. So now how?
So it will depend. It will depend on what the defect. Right? If it's something like a rukun, then you just have to pray again. But if it's something like he left takbir or something,
But again, the subhanallah, is it one person who has to say it or many people?
No. It's supposed to be those those behind the imam. You know, those behind the imam. Normally, those behind the imam are supposed to be learned. You know, those who can correct him when he makes mistake and all that. So if such people, they know what to say and what to do to correct them. So وترك الأفعال الكثيرة والله أعلم, and also avoiding a lot of movement or many movement in Salat, like scratching the body or maybe fixing the cap or the turban or something like that. You know, some people whenever they go for ruku, they will do something. When they get up from sujood, they will do something. They will do, you know, all these. Now I must have 3 of these actions that is not part of Salah. It's in more than 3 movements. It's invalidated prayer. Yeah, more than 3. So let's say that you started the prayer like this, and then you continued. After ruku, you did this. You scratched it.
He didn't back.
After sujood, the cap, you just fix it. Brother, you have to start again.
Shay, I thought with that you are following the imam, so the imam can.
No, he can't take it. He can't take his brother. This is too much money.
So, say in that situation, you just have to go back and pray again.
No, you don't have to. If you are behind imam, you just make takbir and then start up.
But so the one before you pray, you miss it.
Yeah, you miss it. So you make that, even if you're in the first row.
Everyone is especially if it's the Moisin.
Okay, is there any question?
Say, what about if it's the imam? You see, sometimes they put that thing. Yeah. So maybe he's praying and something happened and he fixed it wrong. He stood up again, fix it like more than 3 times. He has to start again.
What about those notes? Someone using the mic.
Yes.
You go down up to, you know, sometimes there's mic. If you go for a call, that's all it's you. So there's some money you have to turn it up. You have to pick it in.
Yeah, fixing the mic. You're not paying.
It's true.
If you disturb the place, or even sometimes, you know,
If it will distract you, put the mic aside.
Say, yes. Say, it's true. And sometimes if you are praying, the way you hold the mic too, you are coming to do this one, you are holding it. It's also another thing.
if you don't use it, you do man.
The mom was like, now you're holding the mic. So now you agree with one hand.
No, it's not. I mean, what the raising of the hands, we'll come to it like this, yeah. But if you have a mic in your hand and you do like this,
so what do we do? Say in that situation, and the mic you're holding is not the clip one, it's the hard one. So in that situation, you have to, because a lot of people are behind.
Yeah. So Allah Akbar is like Allah. Right? Okay. Is there any other question?
Because when you
Say, yeah. Okay. Finish.
when you are coming, like I was late for prayer when I was coming, when I heard I heard the man reciting. From the moment I wasn't hearing anything. And sometimes they don't hear anything. So if you don't position the mic well, and you recite only, so even the who is reading, sometimes they are confused, they don't know what to do. They have to pray their own prayer sometimes. So it is a very
So what about, especially the Salat al-Jum'ah? Realize that maybe the mosque is full. You see a lot of people, they are holding their salat waiting. The moment they are about to start, and in front of the mosque, see that people on the street, everyone will leave. Like this, the whole street, they've covered it, and the mosque is behind instead. So what is the Islamic ruling on?
No. This they have to pray again. I mean, you can't stand in front of the imam. Right? You can't stand in front of the imam. So who is the imam if you are still so
again, Sheikh, on
you have to be behind the imam.
When the Prophet sent Muaz bin Jabal into after they accepted
They
Salah,
should teach them Salah.
according to my analysis, was whenever the Prophet sent someone to some other country,
Somewhere.
that like they don't have anybody, like there's no imam over there, nobody's there unless he sent someone there. But here that is the case. Here you can see maybe Accra imams maybe saying that, oh, today we are going to Tamale or La Paz for Dawa, and Tamale people too are having one amounts to over there. Is it, I mean, like, is it normal, or maybe like?
Yeah, so at that time, when the Prophet sent people, when he sent like scholars or judges, sometimes he sent to Muslim community, some non-Muslim community, right? So like Muaz, he said, إِنَّكَ تَأْتِي قَوْمَ أَهْلَ كِتَابٍ. He sent him to what? To non-Muslim community, right? And when he sent when he sent one Sahabi to Medina before he migrated to Medina, right? So at that time in Medina there were Muslims there, right? They came to Mecca and then embraced Islam, and they started calling people to Islam in Medina. So it's huh? No, not Ibn Mas'ud. What? Ibn Mas'ud? No, I've forgotten the name of the Sahabi. Yeah, so he sent him to Medina. So at that time, Medina, there were Muslims there, but were there scholars among them? No. So he went to teach them, right? So that one it's different.
But Sheikh, is it normal? Because because I have some others in Bidati that dino the mindi malamena holina is a kuda holina ba malamena skin to one kuda that's good you know so kuda so organization more than issue one.
I mean, no. I mean it's acceptable.
It's acceptable.
Of course it's acceptable.
Especially people value people who come from different places.
Yeah.
Especially the message is always new. So my question is
Bashir, please, maybe before you remember, Bashir, please, are we done on Salah?
No, we are done. We are done with the conditions of.
So you say it's 6, but we have 5.
Yeah, so this 6.
No, I'm saying.
طهارة الحدث، طهارة الخبث، استقبال القبلة، ستر العورة، ترك الكلام وترك الأفعال.
Yeah, the hadith and this one, they are two different.
Okay.
Okay, so وآخر